Welcome to the finale of the Spring Classics, Liege Bastogne Liege. Once again, a beautiful spring filled with battles and great winners. Today we're getting ready for a final treat, a proper dessert to close things off with an exciting race.
After this, the riders can finally catch their breath. The races came thick and fast during this period, and the peloton certainly didn't take it easy. Not even for a moment.
That's modern cycling, one long war of attrition.
We're approaching La Redoute, often a key judge in the finale of this monument. This is where you can already land a serious blow.
There they go onto the climb. It's Visma Lease bike who have taken control at the front.
Attack by Healy! The Irishman opens the hostilities and immediately gets a few riders in his wheel. We see Only sliding in nicely, but also Campenarts. And Jorgensen is right there as well for Visma.
Of course, the world champion is positioned at the front too, and Pidcock has moved up neatly as well.
That's a strong first test from Healy. It clearly shows he's feeling good and isn't afraid to take initiative.
Attack from Jorgensen. Only reacts sharply and jumps straight onto his wheel.
This acceleration also does damage to Campenarts, who has to give up a few bike lengths, all triggered by his teammate's move.
Now Pogacar takes control at the front, but you can see the chasing group starting to close back in. We're forming a lead group of around 15 riders.
Visma now has the upper hand with 3 riders. Jorgensen looks to have the best papers.
Attack by Skelmose. Just after the regrouping, things hesitate for a moment. The Dane senses his opportunity and goes for it. He opens up a small gap.
It's Pogacar himself who takes responsibility in the chase. He doesn't want the race slipping out of his hands.
Everything is creaking and cracking, but once again, we regroup. It doesn't take much for things to explode again.
Oh boy, it's happening. Riders are starting to drift away from the group. Credit to Campenarts, by the way. He's right back in the group after being dropped earlier. Alongside him are Jorgensen, Pogacar, Skelmose, Pidcock, Covey, and Healy.
A group made up entirely of top-class riders.
They still have one real climb ahead, and not just any climb. La Roche au Faucon. Is this where we'll see something from the world champion?
That would be the expectation, but watch out. Jorgensen, Skelmose, and Healy have all impressed me as well. You don't just shake those riders off.
We all still remember the Amstel Gold race, where Skelmose stunned both Pogacar and Evenepoel, a performance any rider would envy.
Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourselves. We're about to get to the real moment of truth, the absolute judge of the Liege Bastogne Liege finale. La Roche au Faucon is coming up.
Here we are. The riders start the climb with Campenarts leading the way. These will very likely be his final meters at the front of the race.
On the steepest section now, and still no attacks. Everything remains surprisingly calm.
They're riding almost passively alongside each other.
It happens on the false flat. Attack Tadej Pogacar. The world champion strikes after the climb, trying to surprise everyone.
No one can respond immediately. Everyone has gone deep. And when Pogacar gets even a meter, you usually know how that story ends. If they want to bring him back, it has to happen now.
Skelmose hears the call. He gets out of the saddle and accelerates again.
What an absolutely massive effort from Skelmose. He closes the gap to Pogacar in one single move. That's no average rider.
That's the best rider in the world he's closing down.
There are now 5 riders at the front. The climbing is truly over. On the final meters of the climb, it became too much for Covey and Campenarts. Strong rides from both.
Pidcock is still there in the front group, and please don't ask me how. He's rocking all over his bike, and you can practically hear him breathing from here.
He does get a moment to recover now, and if this comes down to a sprint, you can't underestimate him. On paper, he might even be the fastest.
But what is paper worth after 252 kilometers through the Ardennes? The freshest rider will win this race. And I have to say, Skelmos made a huge impression on me when he closed down Pogača.
The riders approach the final corner. The cooperation is still good, rotating turns, sharing the responsibility.
Ben Healy attacks in the final corner, trying to surprise them all.
He has a small gap.
The rest launch their sprint, and look at Skelmos. He has the most left in the tank, and he takes the win.
More than deserved.
Pogača finishes second by a narrow margin, and Healy, who tried to play the surprise card, still gets himself onto the podium.
Thanks for watching, everyone, and I hope to see you again very soon.
May I have your attention for a moment? My name is Liege Grimaldi, and I'm a former Italian professional cyclist. In the documentary Forza Grimaldi, you will get a unique behind-the-scenes look at my career. From the very beginning to the final moments, documentary makers followed me closely. Every Wednesday at 5 p.m., a new episode will be released. I hope to see you there.